Welcome to Two Nerds and an Actor, the entertainment podcast for the nerd adjacent to the nerd aficionado, where we give you bi-weekly reviews of a popular TV show and movie, where we tell you in hilarious fashion what to watch and why. This is season 4, episode 12. Ow! And I am here with my nerd patrol. You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Mike Santana.
I'm Slim Patrol, obviously.
France Jerome.
You get the easy way out. I gotta be Cyborg. Ain't no black person on the show.
You could have said Booyah. His dad. You could have said Booyah Patrol.
His dad don't count. His dad's like Barack Obama.
What Barack Obama counts?
Yeah. He counts.
If anything, Barack counts too much. But we're not gonna get into that right now.
And I am your host, the Chief, Aisha Jordan.
Wow.
I'm missing.
Where's the accent? Damn it.
Spoilae.
I can't do it. I was going to go into it, and I was like, it might sound terrible, because he doesn't have a Cockney accent. He doesn't have that.
No, he has the more...
I know. That's why I said I wouldn't be able to do it. But this episode, we will be doing some nerdy leaks on the Emmys, things that are coming into Netflix, and other things that have already been announced for our entertainment viewing for the years to come, one day outside of COVID. And we'll be, obviously, as you can tell, reviewing Doom Patrol, which is available on HBOmax and on the DC streaming platform, I believe.
DC Universe.
DC Universe. And we will actually be reviewing Hamilton because we just watched it for the first time, unlike Mike, who was, chosen by the gods to see Hamilton on Broadway.
Front row.
Stop
playing.
And my student, shout out to Franciel, performed on the stage before it.
Oh my God.
David spit on you?
David.
Nah, we didn't get to see like the original cast. It was different people.
Oh, it was different cast.
Did you see it then? No,
Yeah, yes.
He also watched the one that we all saw that's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
So we have that coming up, as well as a bunch of trailers, actually. These trailers just keep coming out, so.
Courtesy of San Diego Comic-Con Online.
San Diego Comic-Con Online. All right, well, let's get right into it. This is our nerdy leaks. Okay, so first up on our nerdy leaks, apparently AMC and Universal have struck a deal because of Universal's comment earlier in the pandemic when they were like, why do we even need movie theaters? We'll just show up online. So I guess the deal is what? After 17 days of being in the movie theaters, it will also be available online? Is that what it was?
Yes. So Universal promised AMC so that AMC will still play nice and show their, give screens for their pictures, that they will be in the theaters for 17 days runtime before they are available to digitally rent.
Okay. I feel like 17 is such an arbitrary number. What's with 17?
Because I think that opening weekend is those first 3 days and then the 2-week run.
Oh, okay. I get it.
So I think that's why.
Right, because movies be coming out on like Wednesdays now.
Yeah, but I think they were just counting the opening weekend like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday through Sunday, that'll be the 17 days.
Got it.
It could also be, I don't have numbers, but it could also be that a movie's major earning, like box office earnings, are in those first 17 days.
Right.
Like not 10 days, but 17 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like maybe
yeah,
AMC wanted to stretch it out of the exclusivity or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It seems pretty weird to me. And like, why? Why didn't they just like, that was just a comment we had, whatever. We're still going to go to the movies. Like, we're still going to put in movie theaters.
I'm not anytime soon.
There's a clip for that.
So
no, I mean like Universal, when they said that comment, that was just a comment. They weren't like really going to do it, were they?
Oh no, people are underestimating how desperate these businesses are to stay afloat and what who they are willing to sacrifice to keep them popping, to keep them in operation. So I think they meant it, and now they look stupid, and they had to walk it back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how stupid Universal looked. I mean, at this point, I think that they were seeing it just as like a favor in the future to have the theatrical releases because it's easy to build hype and get those numbers there.
Yeah.
But I think that studios would not have that much of an issue just going straight to digital if everyone's under fucking quarantine.
Yeah.
Like Tenet, and what was the other movie that got put indefinitely?
Indefinitely.
It was Tenet is on the indefinite
A Quiet Place
list.
2.
A Quiet Place 2, and there was another big one that we talked about.
Spider-Man 3?
No.
That's not going to start.
That one's not even filming
next year.
There is another movie that I can't recall it though.
Yeah.
But it was one of the big releases.
Yeah. Well,
but with 17 days, I'll tell you right now, for right now, the way things are, I could wait 17 motherfucking days.
I mean, I don't think movie theaters are going to open. I mean, around us anyway. For us in New York, that's not. Cuomo was like, I see in Arizona. I see what's happening in Florida. You guys are not going to the gym.
Yeah, but they
Chill
want
out.
to open schools though, right? Yo,
I know.
like,
That's. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no.
Schools is way more people than the gym.
Facts.
Way more people than the movie theater.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know. But if things go back to DK normal, I still don't see myself going to the movie theaters anytime this year.
Well, until I feel like if there's a vaccine and I've been vaccinated,
I mean, of course.
I'm headed to the movies.
Of course, I'll sprinkle that shit in my popcorn. I'm just saying, I don't,
Yeah.
If there was a vaccine, I would want to slip and slide my way on it into the movie theater like that dude in Watchmen.
Oh my God. You can baby oil yourself up.
The lube guy.
The lube guy. Well, we'll see. Other things, not going outside, but staying in. Korra is making its way to Netflix. What was it, August 14th, I believe?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because everyone has had this resurgence of, watching Last Airbender and then man, I wish I could watch Korra. And it was only on what was it?
CBS All Access.
Oh my God, yeah, it was only on CBS. So now they were
really hard to find.
But wasn't
legally.
it Nickelodeon too?
Yeah, I was trying to follow it. It's Viacom on CBS, so by virtue of that, that's why Nickelodeon doesn't have a streaming service.
Right.
So it went there, but now the Nickelodeon deal with Netflix is cemented.
The deal.
So now they was like, and yoink.
Okay, I see. So now that they're moving forward with the deal, they're like, okay, we're taking Korra first. All right. I mean, it's fun. I haven't finished watching all of Airbender my fourth time, so I'm gonna go back to that first.
Yeah, the Office, them Netflix losing The Office or Friends and things like that. Avatar is, like I said, it's one of those shows that it could be in their top 10 watch list for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah, so Korra probably join it up there for a while too.
I mean, I know some people who didn't actually like Korra.
Yeah.
As much.
I read a wild think piece about that.
About people not liking it?
Specifically from this Asian American person who was just like, I see what they're trying to do, and here's why it didn't work.
In Korra?
Yeah, it was like, here's why it drowns in whiteness, kind of. And I was like, oh, God.
Oh,
damn.
No. Okay.
I was like, still rocking with it, but they made a point. But Break ain't never not said who they was, so.
I mean.
My issues with Korra were never about those things, like why you watch, none of that. It was just the fact that Nickelodeon should have had more faith in it from jump so that they didn't leave the studio in eggshells. So they thought they were only getting book 1, and then they said, okay, that worked out. Let's do another book. And then when book 2 dropped and did well, they were like, okay, fine, 3, 4. So if Bright would have known ahead of time, all right, we got 3 seasons or we have 4 seasons to map out, things would have played way different. That's why season 1 of Korra and season 2 of Korra could have just ended there.
Right. Because they
That's-
weren't prepared for that.
Right. That's why 3 bled into 4 so seamlessly. And you even see Kuvira in season 3 foreshadowed.
Right.
So it's,
For those who don't know, are Brian and Mike, the creators of the world of Avatar, Last Airbender.
As you can tell, nerds like blending names.
Brian K. and Michael DiMartino.
And Korra Sami.
My Naga.
Hey, yo. You know what? I'm writing that down.
I think we've got our name. All right, speaking of sequels, Witcher apparently is a prequel. Gotcha.
Boom.
But that is 100% happening, coming to Netflix.
Yeah, prequel series for Witcher. So it was very popular, as we know. People love their tossing coins to their Witcher. And I think that video that went around the internet not too long ago of Henry Cavill putting together a PC.
Oh, I didn't even see that. What did he do?
He very sexily, I mean, everyone who pays attention knows that Henry Cavill's a huge fucking nerd. Plays video games and plays D&D and all types of nerd shit.
What?
He just
I don't pay attention, I'll be honest.
I mean, it's hard to get past those eyes, and those hammers. But anyway, pause. But anyway, he put a video together the other day where he's in quarantine. He was building a PC, but he did it all sexily, arms all sweaty, tank toppy.
My goodness, was this on Twitch?
No, I mean, but I'm sure it caused many twitches. You know what I'm saying? So sparked from that and the success of Witcher on Netflix. Netflix was like, all right, we'll do a prequel series. So they're going to explore things like who was the first Witcher and things like that. So.
Wait, but is he going to be in it? And am I going to get my girl?
No. I don't know if the current cast is going to play much into this prequel series.
What?
Because they have their own Witcher season 2 that they're doing. So this is prequel, I know
separate.
Yeah, these characters could live for a long time, but I'm talking about they're doing what Game of Thrones is trying to do now.
Right.
But they're doing it way earlier. They're
ahead of the game. I get it.
They're way ahead of the game.
Okay. I thought it was they were going to do a prequel instead of the sequel.
No.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I was like, I guess that's cool, but I kind of want to know what's going to happen to the other story.
World building.
Okay, cool. I'm down for it. Everybody, I think, was just more excited about the Henry Cavill, sexiness that happened in that show.
He did flex a lot.
You go watch that video. Yeah, watch that. I'll send you a link.
Send me. Yeah.
I will.
We'll send everyone
with France's
the
blessing,
link.
of course.
Do I
and then
flex?
I'll make France do it. It'll be more hilarious if France is doing it. He's actually sweating. He's getting a headache.
That was too on brand. I feel seen.
I think I'll watch that one. Anyway, thinking about boys and muscles and putting things together and ripping them apart.
From
boys.
the butt? Yay.
From the butt.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Spoiler.
They did do that. I guess that's a spoiler for season 1.
Nah, everybody at this point besides Al has seen that.
Whoa, we gotta get on that, man.
Al hasn't seen it because it's on Prime. So, if you don't have Amazon Prime,
I guess.
which who doesn't, right? I don't even think you can be an American citizen without it at this point.
No.
That's how I got my passport.
There you go. So for those who haven't seen it, it's hard to see it.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's so good.
So good. Well, The Boys, which season 2 is coming out in
Few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm lying. No, isn't it coming out in September?
Oh, it might be September. You might be right.
Yeah. What's coming out in a few weeks is Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting all my
No, that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm getting all my push dates pushed back.
I know.
No, because we recorded this 4 weeks ago.
We recorded this.
Come on.
What did I say? It's
No, that's fine. That's fine.
September
Doesn't matter. The fuck
67th.
is time.
Well, The Boys is already greenlit for season 3, which I think is hilarious because nobody's seen season 2 yet.
Exactly.
Who
We only
even
see the
knows if it's
trailers.
good? What if it sucks? And they're like,
you stop your fucking your trap. What?
I don't want it to suck. I think it'll be great, but like, imagine it comes on, everyone's like, wow, I thought
And
that
it's
was
like,
going to be
what is
better.
this shit? Yeah.
And then they're like, I guess I'll watch season 3. Probably not.
The fall off. I can see all the Black Nerd Problem gifts now. Done fell off.
Mainly with Storm. That's what they do. All right. Well,
that was good.
I think it's going to be great. So I'm not actually concerned that they've greenlit season 3. I just think it's funny.
I don't think Carl Urban will attach himself to anything unless it's going to be good.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm so concerned about his storyline, to be honest. Like, where we left off. Okay, spoilers if you haven't seen season 1. We're like him and the wife and the kid and the... What? You know?
Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing. Anyways, we'll see. All right. On to our main attraction of the evening, because the award goes to us for talking about the Emmys. The Emmy nominations came out just a few days ago, too, right? Like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, Black Lives Matter. That's what they said in all these nominations. Like, if you're Black and you did something, you're nominated. We're all nominated.
That is not what the fuck happened. Stop it.
It's kind of what happened.
I don't think it's... Okay, so when you look at the real list of who's been nominated, there are definitely way more Black people than there has been before. It's like, oh, wow. Well, yeah. But at the same time, all these categories I've been looking through, and like, you know how many millions of like nominations went to Secession on HBO?
A lot.
A lot.
I was like, the hell? There's like no people of color in that show.
The cast of Empire's big mad.
I haven't watched any of it, so I
Me
don't know.
neither, but it's about white people trying to keep their white power. No.
All right, Ozark is about white people too.
Exactly.
I argue Ozark is a whiter show
It probably
than
is.
Secession. Yes.
What? There's a Culkin on Secession.
What is that? No, but I mean, with all that to say, there are definitely way more people of color nominated this time around than ever. But I don't think it's like a reckoning.
Don Cheadle for Black Monday.
You know, I really want to watch that. No, he said oof. He used his one oof on.
Damn, you used it on that?
On
I
Don
always think
Cheadle?
it's funny because of,
There's so much show left. I haven't even used my listen.
well,
Did I say JK? I've been saying JK a lot, so I can't say that one.
I feel like I stepped on a landmine.
So
the
wait, okay,
minefield
so-
just tripped off everybody's phrases.
No. The kids that listen to us need a drinking game, so
do.
they can take a sip from the Capri Suns.
It's true.
So-
I haven't said my coworkers in so long. There's nothing to drink to.
Because you guys all working together.
We work at home.
Online, yeah. No, well, Francis Oof, my listen, and your JK.
Yeah. If we say it, drink. And then if we're trying not to say it, I guess you'll be sober. So stick to it.
Yeah, and if your parents don't let you have a Capri Sun because you already finished one already, you find a way to get your hands on a Capri Sun. You do whatever you need to do.
You get chocolate wasted.
The artful Dodger over here. Go pick a pocket.
Okay, back to the nominees though. Watchmen
Issa
on
Rae.
HBO got 26 nominations altogether.
Yeah, that's some Game of Thrones numbers.
That's the
Facts.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah,
For the one-off, like, brip, brip.
And definitely deserved though. Like when it said 26, everyone's like, yes. I was like, thank goodness. Like if it didn't get nominated, I'd be like, well, I guess I don't watch the Emmys anymore. They don't know good television.
Well, HBO.
Intriguing to you guys.
Well, what's interesting, but shouldn't be surprising, because post Sopranos, HBO still was able to pump out
Sopranos.
No, wait. But I'm just saying, Sopranos was a huge.
It was an era.
That's true.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Right. So I'm saying post Sopranos, they were able to still remain beyond relevant and put forth quality programming that garnered them many a nomination. This is now the post Game of Thrones era for them, and that didn't slow them down not one bit. I mean, Euphoria's on there.
Right.
You guys already mentioned Succession. You got Watchmen.
Yo, Lovecraft Country. Guys, it's going to be good. I won't go more into it. I've already seen an episode, but I'm not going to talk about it.
But next year?
I did not sign an NDA, though.
No. No. France, you want to drop a name or anything?
Don't want to drop a
name drop. Yeah.
This is that segment, right? Isn't this Daryl? You on it? This is a segment.
I got to interview Yeah, Abdul Mateen.
Oh my God!
Wait!
He said name drop.
But you already went, and he has nothing to do with what you just mentioned.
He was nominated.
He's in Watchmen.
Boom. He was nominated though. He himself was nominated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. Mm-hmm.
He's just so excited.
I don't understand. They won't let me give side eye.
You can give all the side eye you want.
Anyway.
Regina King. She got nominated. Very happy about that. Yo, shout out to Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman? Oh, for that thing that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
And isn't Bad Education also an HBO thingy?
Yes,
I believe
yes, it is.
So.
It's HBO.
Yeah.
So
basically, what's the point of any other network? Is that what we're saying? Jeremy Irons. Yeah. Jeremy Irons. Shout out to my boy.
If you want to be real, you have to be Netflix or HBO or Amazon. Those are the only ones who get nominated now. But also, think about it. In the world of COVID, like, everything is just going to be streaming services anyway. Like, what? Nothing's getting released.
I don't know. Families don't really sit around the table anymore or sit around the table.
The fuck is a table?
I don't know. I meant like the dinner table. I meant like they don't get together anymore, like watch stuff together is what I meant.
Oh, I
People
get it.
eat
You don't think so?
at tables?
All right, enough. I'm sorry, enough.
We're in New York. Who has dinner tables?
Yeah.
Who has room in their apartment for a dinner table?
There's no dinner tables. It's just 4 milk crates stacked together.
Exactly.
Hey, that's not it. Some of us had that shit.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm speaking from experience.
Those crates
Mike was
held
like,
up.
when I would go to Francis' house and we had to sit around the milk crates.
France went to my house. I literally had a black milk crate in the living room. The fuck?
I'm sorry.
I literally had one of those.
I'm not gonna.
And I to this day, I don't know where we got it from. I don't picture Mima like dragging that shit from the damn.
You know she went to the 200 and copped that.
It's too many inside jokes. People are not gonna understand any of this.
Well, point is, we're excited about the nominations because they are recognizing some really, really talented people and a lot of talented people of color. So I will be watching the Emmys as I always do. I know no one else does, but I'll report back.
No, I'll watch this one because I had said when we reviewed Euphoria that if Zendaya did not get nominated, that it would be like the biggest travesty ever. And she didn't get any nominations for the Golden Globes, but I don't know if it was up for that. I don't know if it was eligible.
I don't know. I think
was.
it missed the cutoff for Golden Globes. I think
which
it did.
is bullshit. They should have made an exception. But anyway,
but next year she could.
She did. She got nominated for this one. So I'm very, very happy. Very happy about that.
And everyone is excited that Nicole Byer got nominated. She's like the first Black woman to ever be nominated as a reality TV host. And I mean, I'm down. Yes, firsts. But I was also like, listen to that category, y'all. That was just born yesterday. Like, everything is a first. Like the first person to be nominated.
George Washington Carver.
I'm just saying, I am excited about it. First, yes, but I also think it's funny. It's like the second year this category is
none of us cares. Well, anyway.
No, I'm
just hype that it's Nicole Byer
keep
doing her
hyping
thing.
it. It's sure.
The Mandalorian, not to leave Disney Plus out of the loop.
True.
Mandalorian got nominated. Billy Porter again for Pose. A few actors, actresses on Pose.
People were upset that they were like, "Oh, the only cisgendered male is the only one nominated on Pose," and I was like, "Oh,
I mean,
but goddamn.
All due respect to Billy Porter, I mean, we all know Sterling K. Brown is going to win for This Is Us.
I know he just can't not win.
Isn't that by default at this point?
Pretty
Or
much.
he's the new Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
And
Every year he's gonna
outstanding drama series, Handmaid's Tale is probably going to win that by default.
Right.
But we'll see. Hey, maybe we get surprised.
Maybe things change.
You know?
All right.
That's our Emmys take.
That's our Emmys. We'll come back to more Emmys stuff towards the middle of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
We got more
But there goes our obligatory Emmys take.
Emmys. All right. Next is our word from the donation plug. No.
Oh.
No.
The plug?
Is the plug.
No, I was going to do like the plug.
This sounds like butt plugs. No. Wow. This is donations.
That's the edit
that was
point.
you guys.
That's the edit point.
That was you guys.
Daryl?
Nah,
That's
keep
the
it
edit point.
at. Keep it at. Keeping it.
All right. I'll shut my mouth.
So, as always, we want to shout out our very beloved audience, as in Kat Ramos, who always bigs us up every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Simone for donating still monthly. It has helped a lot. We've actually purchased a Scarlett M-Box, which is how we are able to record social distanced. We owned one and had to give it to Mike so that we could record and be safe, but we needed it back. So now 2Nerds has one. Thank you, everyone, for that. And donating to us is how we can keep these things happening. So imagine we didn't have this equipment. There's no way these episodes would be happening. So please donate if you can. You can donate by going to our website, 2nerdsandactor.squarespace.com, and that's all spelled out, so no numbers or anything. 2nerdsandactor.squarespace.com, and clicking donate. It is tax deductible, so you can write it off on your taxes. You know, get that stimulus plus that money back from that donation you gave to us. But in these times, speaking of stimulus, it is still important to give to those who are struggling at this time and for those who are supporting Black lives. So please check out in our comments. We'll put the link tree in for the national resource list and the COVID-19 resources for artists, because $1,200 is not going to do it. It's not.
For most people, it will not.
Yeah. So definitely give where you can. If money isn't the way to do it, if you are one of those people who may have been laid off, first of all, that freaking sucks, and I'm so sorry. But I hope that our podcast can give you some type of entertainment or levity during this time. But like, subscribe, share, write a review, comment on us. If you're a blogger, write about us. If you like the show, let other people know. That is how we can get our names out there. We can get more listeners, and we can do more interesting things for y'all.
Yeah, if you're an Uber driver, put our fucking podcast on while you got passengers. What are they going to say? What are they going to say to you? If they talk to you, then you demote them stars.
Legit. You don't like the podcast? Psh, 2 stars for you.
Oh, you don't like this? Huh? Come on. We're the aggressive Uber drivers.
Oh, my God.
It makes sense.
We need haters, so help us out.
We do. If we get a hater, I'll know we've made it, to be honest.
Listen, I'm asking.
I'm in.
No, what we need is a brave hater. Somebody bold enough to let us know they hate us.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because you could be like, those guys are whack, and just go on with your lives. But if you tweet,
love you guys.
Word.
So yeah, if you do share us, like us, subscribe, do a shout out, you will also get shouted out in this section. So definitely check us out. Woo! All right. Now we're moving on to our No Spoilers review.
Yeah, do not panic. Okay.
So in our no spoilers review this episode, in our no spoilers review this episode, we will be reviewing Doom Patrol and Hamilton. So if you haven't seen these, it's fine. Keep listening because...
In that order?
No. We're going to be doing Hamilton first.
Okay.
And then Doom Patrol. So if you haven't seen any of them, that's fine. We'll let you know how we liked it. And maybe you'll want to see it. And then later on, we'll do our spoilers review where we can get into the nitty gritty of all the things we hated. No, I'm kidding. We'll talk about good stuff too sometimes. I'll tell you what, it was more than just a movie. Yeah? No. All right, let's get into it.
It was a play.
It was a play.
This is Hamilton.
So Hamilton, if anyone doesn't know, which would be strange, is the musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda that started at the Public Theater and made its way to Broadway. For technically, if it was open, would still be running right now, about Alexander Hamilton. But it uses rap and different types of rhythms that you don't normally see in musicals to tell the story of Alexander Hamilton. So most people haven't seen it because it's like $5,000 to get a ticket, and it's been sold out till 2024. So if you were able to see Hamilton, I honestly think that you were a wizard and you were able to conjure up some sort of spell.
You a dead ass relic. If you got to see it, you you'd be in a museum.
Yeah.
Thank
They're
you.
like, he's seen Hamilton.
I play Animal Crossing a
theaters.
lot, so being in a museum means a lot to me.
Oh my god!
Yo, everyone keeps talking about museums and Animal Crossing. That's
Thank you.
Been a thing. All right, so my first question is, does it live up to the hype? And I'm going to go with France on this one because he has a lot to say. I know he's going to go more into the spoilers review.
I don't mean to be that guy.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about strictly the Disney Plus experience.
Yes, because everyone else in the world...
So this is separate. This is separate from my experience of it being hyped and then actually seeing it live.
I mean, you can talk about it if you want, but make sure you make that distinction. You're like, well, when I saw it on Broadway...
See, that's leadership right there. Yeah. That guiding right there. Thank you so much.
So, France,
no.
you want to kick it up?
He's seen it live.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't want to go first.
All right, bet.
I'm not going first.
I don't want to go first. All right, bet. Let's see. No spoilers. Review of this thing. It was extremely cute. It was
extremely cute.
You know what it is?
Yo,
it was very cute.
Story about a dude who gets shot. Extremely cute.
Duel.
He got shot in Jersey. That shit don't count. And anyway, so
what? Oh my god!
Fuck out of here.
I'm
This is the Godfather. Anyway,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
He got popped like Sonny out under the toll booth. Anyway,
oh my god!
I was like, so it was. The reason I say it's extremely cute, no spoilers, is that the performances are electric.
Yeah.
The performances are electric, astounding even. It was so amazing. And then I remember who's in the audience. And I remember who musicals are coded for. And post BLM now, I'm just like not post BLM, but in a world BLM that's very aware of these things, even more so. Now I'm just kind of like, is this the story I wanted to see here? It was so well performed. And I was just like, damn, couldn't this story been about somebody else?
I thought you were going to, maybe you'll do it in the spoilers review, but I thought you were going to talk about the rapping.
I mean, the rapping is the rapping. It's very Eminem rapping style. The only person who falls out of that is David, who brings that Bay Area swag to Lin-Manuel's raps.
There's plenty of different flows in this shit.
There was.
But most of them are Lin-Manuel's.
Almost every single Like, I would say the top 15 most popular rap flows are in this fucking play somewhere.
Definitely not. But I see.
What?
And when you say popular, you mean popular, and still for me that falls short of the craft. It falls short for me. It falls short of the craft symbolically. The dude plays, was it Hercules?
Hercules Mulligan.
Hercules Mulligan, and goes on to play Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
The one from In the Heights.
I was like, no, him and Davies Mark. Oh my God, Davies Marquis is kind of like my favorite.
The French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him.
Marquis de Lafayette is fire.
Lafayette.
I was like, but anywho, that said, it was cool to see, and it left me wishing that the story was about someone more connected to rap.
I mean, I'm gonna say this because it's important to be said. I don't like musicals, although it seems like I would, because, you know, like I'm a theater kid, this and that. Like I did musicals in high school, but they're not my bag. Like if you're singing the whole time, like I remember the first musical I saw was My Fair Lady, and I was in like the 6th grade, and they would always take the 6th grade class to go see the High School Musical. Like they would all go together, and I was sitting there, and I didn't know where we were going. I didn't even know we were going on a trip that day. I'm sitting here and I was like, yo, why won't they stop singing? This is ridiculous. My friend was like, it's a musical. And I was like, the fuck? The fuck is a musical?
It doesn't stop?
It just keeps singing? So the overture in the beginning is always the moment where I'm like, am I turning this off? Can I get through this song and make it through? And I did. I got through it. But I'll be honest, I am not as up about the hype as everyone else. I thought it was good. I, again, thought the performances were like ridiculous, out of this world. What's my girl's name?
Oh, Renee Elise Goldsberry.
She did that flow, and I was like, who knew? Who knew you could do this? This is phenomenal.
Yeah, she's great.
Just great. So I had these moments, but at the same time, I was like, why am I listening to this? Why is this happening? Alexander Hamilton? What is the point of this? So I think it's just like, it was cool, and I had a good time. It was long, but yeah, I was not as excited about it before I saw Hamilton to after I have seen Hamilton, as well as Mike's like, I saw it in theaters.
It's just take a string about being like, the chair recognizes Mike Santana.
So in terms of being able to after I saw the damn play, like for reals, I immediately started doing research as to why Hollywood doesn't, like, why the fuck did my school have to enter some type of contest and do a project and blah, 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 just to see this. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole point of Hamilton is to make history, although a bit revised,
right,
accessible through hip hop, rap music, whatever, and through a diverse cast to an audience that otherwise would not probably care enough to know about Hamilton or the Founding Fathers or beyond whatever is forced upon you in school. Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's odd that there's this huge barrier, this socioeconomic barrier to see this.
Right. That's what musicals does. That's what Broadway does. It's
right.
crazy.
So I was like, why is this not in a movie form? And then lo and behold, Disney Plus put it there.
Disney Plus.
So, you know, then after I saw it on Disney Plus, I tried to look into, okay, why aren't other plays? And apparently it's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And Hamilton, as you talked about, Aisha, was so popular,
right,
that expense was nothing.
Right.
It's still sold out for the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. So it was easy for them to do this. But it is a shame that other plays are not going to get the same treatment. That being said, at this point, because he's become such a representative of the Latinx Hispanic community, I mean, it should be Manuel Miranda at this point, not even Lynn. It should just be Manuel Miranda.
It's true.
Because his In the Heights is going to be...
My God, everybody's...
is going to get the same movie style treatment too.
Yeah.
I saw it once by myself and I saw it once with me, Mom. And she loved it. She likes musicals.
Oh, okay.
But she doesn't necessarily care for rap. But it's not, if anybody's seen the thing, non-spoiler, that there's not just rap. There's other types of songs in it.
Mad forms.
It's a musical.
Yeah, it's a musical,
But they straight spoken word spitting in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is it's a 3-hour play.
Yeah, just about.
But words per minute, like France said, is Eminem-ish. Marshall Matherish.
It was putting words in.
Hamilton.
They get so many fucking words in per minute that they cover a lot of ground.
They do.
Yeah.
In terms of narrative.
History, straight facts.
History, yeah. But the thing about the straight facts is this is from Manuel Miranda's fucking influence from a book written about Hamilton. I guess he saw the appeal. He saw the appeal of somebody who was known for writing so much,
right,
and being from the Caribbean, whatever. That he was like, I'll tell a story about him. So non-spoilae. I mean, this is based on history. It's a play that may not be for everybody. That's intention is to be made for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way that this type of history is kind of whitewashed.
Yeah.
It's an attempt to start a dialogue and a discussion about our place looking back on history from the position we're at now. So I find it entertaining. I thought it was great. The performances are amazing. And my favorite character in both renditions, the live action, where it was not the same cast, was still Mr. Burr.
I was like, Burr? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll go more into it in our spoilers review because I definitely have some key points I would like to make. So if you have seen it, if you've watched it on Disney Plus, or I guess if you transported yourself to Broadway somehow and saw it, keep listening.
If I may, because I didn't get to during the name drop section. She wasn't there when I went to see it live, but she was there in the
recording.
In the recording with the original cast. Hope Easterbrook is one of the ensemble cast members.
Mm-hmm.
She's the redhead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's not hard to miss. She's the redhead. She used to co-host an open mic I went to numerous times. In the city called Suvo Salon. It was in the back of this brick oven pizza place. But it was real nice. It was over there by 2nd Avenue. And she used to co-host that. And it, she would open up by singing some show tunes and things like that. And 6 Degrees of Separation, she's on fucking Broadway killing it and gonna make royalties the rest of her life off of this shit.
Aww.
Awesome.
So yeah,
That's
great.
awesome.
Shout out to Hope
Name
Easterbrook.
drop.
Yeah.
That was a bomb.
Name bomb.
It's good douche.
All right, so let's go into our no spoilers review of Doom Patrol. And I feel like one of the reasons we're doing this is because it's now available for people to see. I don't think a lot of people had the DC streaming service, and now it's on HBOmax where everyone's kind of subscribing.
If you want to understand what I've done, I needed to find a way to outlive my daughter. So I began my experiments in search of mortality. I'd make some adjustments.
So Doom Patrol is the story of several powered people. I think they were
Misfits?
calling themselves metahumans a couple times,
Yeah,
but they're not all metahumans.
Yeah, then that term got thrown
Right.
around.
But they're all kind of connected by this one scientist dude who they call the chief. And it's kind of about their backstories and then also how they became this ragtag bunch that begrudgingly does superhero things.
They get the job done.
Yeah.
You know?
They get roped into it and they get the job done.
They get the job done.
Oh, that was very clever.
That was good. So, I would say this. People expected it to suck. What do you think?
People expected it to suck.
They did. Come on. People expected it to suck.
Your
Don't-
hyperboles, man. Anytime she goes everybody or people,
The generalizations
true.
be like
I'm like, who are the what?
waving a Tommy gun around.
People expected it to suck. Come on. It was DC. It was like on their streaming service. It was like, what is this nonsense?
The thing is, I'll say this is probably even worse. People didn't know what to fucking expect or care about this show.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who like threw themselves into the show. I feel like everybody who's watched it has stumbled into it, and they're like, "Oh, you know, Doom Patrol non-spoiler. Doom Patrol is the TV show version of Marvel's Guardians.
Ah.
It's that bunch. It's that oddballish outside of the norm DC characters that you know.
Right.
But it does so much right that you're hoping the rest of everything DC does
Yeah.
borrows from it.
Yeah, like I wish everything
agree.
would follow suit.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol, no spoilers. Doom Patrol, the source material. The people who love Doom Patrol, the comic, unfortunately, are many of the Comics Gate motherfuckers that you see at because it was technically a very esoteric comic unto itself, and everybody was on that, and it was some great god tier writing. So it was cool, but it was cool in a way that was unconventional to the even unconventional. So the show follows suit, and it's so good at mimicking and making fun of the cliche that it always hints and leans on becoming cliche, but then breaks the fourth wall, and you're like, oh shit, this is kind of genius. It says what you're thinking right before you say it.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think I had any plans to really watch Doom Patrol. I think it is like what Mike was saying, like you stumble upon it, and mainly because I think number one, we're in quarantine and they've released HBOmax. So I'm probably going to watch everything that's on there if I get the chance. But I was pleasantly surprised that Doom Patrol was very addicting. It was like, oh, let's watch this one thing. And even the beginning credits, you're like, this is interesting. And then as it has these like corny moments, I wouldn't say as corny as like CW DC things. It didn't go that far. I think the corny and then it allowing it being able to be on a streaming service so they can curse, they can be crude, they can do these other things, definitely made up for any type of corniness that might be there. And it lended itself to the story. So you can definitely get into these characters and into what's happening. And when we go into the spoilers review.
Yeah, and in case you weren't clear, we're only talking about season 1 of Doom Patrol. Right. Most, like 90% of season 2 is also on there. Right. But we wanted to wait till that's finished. There's going to be 9 episodes in season 2. They couldn't do more than that due to COVID reasons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's 8 episodes up on there now for season 2. And the 9th one will be the final one, which probably releases this weekend or next week, something like that. So yeah, Doom Patrol season 1, touching upon what you just said, Aisha, like, if you saw or are familiar with Titans season 1, every fuck you hear in Doom Patrol feels authentic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not for affect.
Yeah. You're not like, I'm watching Robin say fuck Batman.
Yeah, these are characters like that are way more fully developed in this series than the characters in season 1 of Titans, where every time fuck was said, and we said this in our review of it, so it's not like I'm revolutionizing anything here. We talked about how it felt like, the Frax in Battlestar. It's just
Sorry.
like, we can say this? All right, fuck Batman.
Fuck.
It felt like that. Whereas in Doom Patrol, if you hear fuck Batman, it's fuck Batman. It's way more authentic.
Right, yeah.
And it feels it's done from a better place.
You know it's coming from somewhere, and you know where that somewhere is. You're like,
that somewhere is Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
And just if you're trying to still feel out, okay, non-spoiler, where does this lie? If you saw Umbrella Academy and if you saw The Boys, Doom Patrol, for reasons we'll get into in spoiler, is somewhere in the middle of those two. In terms of where it tries to find itself.
Yeah, tone, everything.
Yeah, in tone, yeah. I don't know if it ever goes as far hard R core the way that The Boys does.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it ever gets close enough to the grounded, false science fiction-y stuff that Umbrella Academy does. It finds a happy medium that's its own brand of silly, wacky, but fun.
Right.
It's a fun show.
Yeah. Agreed. So we will take a break. And this time we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
Oh, snap.
Our sponsor is Daryl.
Keep that.
It's very exciting.
The man in the chair. Daryl.
Children, that's not very nice.
If he's not familiar with that Simpsons episode, I'm gonna cry.
No, but you sound like it when you say it.
You do. It's creepy.
Wait,
But
Tim
I liked
Curry?
it.
Tim Curry it or
Scars.
Aw, thanks.
Well, now you don't have to take a break and go get a drink. Or you can get a drink while listening to this sponsor. Because
One day we'll get a drink sponsor. That way we just...
And then you can do both.
This episode is sponsored by Wild Horse Recording, LLC. Wild Horse Recording is a full-service tracking and recording studio that specializes in audiobook production, music production, and scoring. Not to mention audio editing, podcasting, and live tracking. Their studio is filled with state-of-the-art recording gear with vintage and modern instruments. They have a huge network of professional musicians and voice actors ready to help you find the sound you're looking for. Check out their studio and get a quote on your next audio project at wildhorserecording.com. Create, record, produce. Your creative mood will fit the vibe at Wild Horse Recording, located in Stillwater, Minnesota. Again, that's wildhorserecording.com. You can shoot them an email at info@wildhorserecording.com. The owner, Daryl, is the man. He's our guy in the chair, makes us sound crispy. So if you're looking for crispy sound, can I get a
This is the
Crispy sound.
example right here.
You want a crunch crispy or you want like a Pringles crispy?
If you want either of those sounds, hit up Daryl, info@wildhorserecording.com.
Okay, welcome back, people. I hope you enjoyed that.
Boy, I gotta get out. I gotta stop.
commercial.
Sorry, Sorry.
It's so great to have our sound guy with us. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took a drink while you were enjoying it. And we're going to get into our question for the day.
Yep.
This one is good because it's dramatic.
No, this one's good because you want to get me excommunicated, but let's go.
Oh.
Mike
So-
Wick, excommunicado.
No. It'll be a healthy discussion. So the biggest thing that's been happening recently in Emmys talk is that two Latinx actors and creators spoke up about, it kind of being like a big BLM kind of shout out that a lot of the nominees were Black. So let me pull up the thing. So John Leguizamo said,
Can I read what he said? Since
yeah, go ahead.
Since I want to representate.
We have our Puerto Rican representative reading the quotes, Mike Santana.
The Puerto Rican delegate.
Our Puerto Rican delegate.
John Leguizamo tweeted, "Why can't we Latinx have a piece of the pie? We're the largest ethnic group in America and missing as if we didn't exist." Dasha Polanco chimed in and said, "If it's only us speaking up on it, no one cares. It's the silence from those that fight for equality, but only their equality. Diversity, but diverse enough to include thyself. That mentality of as long as I'm good, I don't see a damn thing."
So it's been a lot of big contention. I'm going to talk from the I because I myself, being Afro-Latinx, like my family is Panamanian. I find it strange that they've then left out the Black Latinx people who exist within the entirety of Hollywood. And a couple, I think, have been nominated too. I think someone named, I forget their name right now, but were nominated.
Could we try to find who that was?
I think it's in that same post too. They showed
for the
it.
bro, Jarrell Jerome?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nominated. And I always feel like these comments seem to leave out the darker skinned Latinx people that you don't know right away are Latinx as well. That is what upsets me the most, because whenever I'll say, like, I obviously will say I'm Black, right? But like, that doesn't change the fact that I'm also Latinx. Like, my family literally still is in Panama, like those kind of things. So it always dismisses like part of my culture when I hear those things like that we're not getting the recognition. And I also feel it kind of waters down the idea that like we're of a diaspora. When one of us wins, we all win. And it can't have that. We can't have that moment where it's like, yes, things are changing. Hurrah, we can see this change happening. And then, I don't know, tomorrow be like, we're next or something. You know what I mean? It can't just be like, yeah, let's open these doors. It's got to be like, oh, but what about me? What about me? So that's my, what is it? Point dog. But I mean, I'll let you go. You go. Go ahead.
Well, this is not me shooting bail for myself, but you know, I hadn't heard about these quotes till pre-pro, and I would like to go back and see if that was part of a larger chain of tweets, perhaps. Maybe there was a larger point at hand, but taking what we read, it's like it's two sides of the diversity coin, you know, and it's funny to say two sides because it's a many-sided coin, if that makes any sense. It's like like when the LGBTQ community feels like they're not being represented, when people are being represented for their ethnicity or stuff like that, I feel like people try to quiet them down or say, we're not talking about that right now. The whole biggest issue I had with the tweet was that I feel like it probably wasn't the time for it right now.
Yeah.
Like when I talk about diversity being important, I mean diversity like in general, not just for one particular group, you know? Like, I feel like there could be more roles for different ethnic groups,
right?
People from different nationalities, countries, and all that stuff. I feel like it's not always right, or it's not right when there's a role specifically, you know, through the source material made for a person of color, and then that person is whitewashed in like a live action adaptation or something like that.
Right.
That always perplexes me. When there's also like a purpose or an importance of where that character is from, not just for the sake of just, oh, we have a brown
Bane.
character. Well, I mean, yeah, like Bane was supposed to be from
Santa
Latin
Prisca.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's supposed to, but his accent
Right.
And his experience and the reason he goes about taking on Batman the way he does,
Right.
all stems from what he learned in a prison in this Latin American,
Right.
DC country or whatever city or prison that didn't exist. And so, but the point is, Leguizamo, he's always been a huge advocate for, representing his Hispanic, Latino, all his roots, and he's very passionate about that. And I would expect no less for him to take every opportunity to try to get more Latino voices heard and appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Latinx. But it's just right now, like we've been telling everybody else, it's like, this is not your moment right now.
Right.
That being said, last point, I'll be quick. We've had issues with the whitewashing of Oscars and the Emmys and all these major recognition entities of, achievement or performances in the arts for decades.
Yeah.
And it's not just the lack of representation from African Americans, from people of color, from Black people in Hollywood and stuff. It's not just there. Like it's a lot of groups that's not represented. And but it's just that mixed with what the climate is right now. It's like we need allies and advocates for this movement right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what has the momentum. But if you really look at it, it is about the larger, it's about us.
Yeah.
So I don't want these two people to get like crucified for what they said.
Yeah.
But I do feel everybody that feels like they should have probably not taken it the way they did.
Held off.
Yeah.
France, want to say something?
It's not as for me. It's not as abstract. There's a history to this kind of. I'm gonna call it a behavior, and it stems from moments to speak up, and then moments when you don't speak up, which then highlights when you choose to speak up, and kind of reveals some of your or some of a person's. I want to say it's like an ingrained, practiced behavior. So when Jarrell Jerome, who's a dark-skinned Dominican from the Bronx, wins an Emmy, then you don't claim that he's not claimed publicly as a member of the diaspora that speaks Spanish. It's like like that doesn't come up in the same way. But when the Emmys, this shit is a joke anyway, in my opinion.
Right.
Like the fact that they all of a sudden
I know.
had a gigantic influx of Black nominees is like, that's cute.
Sounds like someone didn't want to be in the news.
I'm like, but defund the police. Reason. And then it was like, but the idea then becomes is like, so you didn't choose to claim him then, or to be hyped about it then, or take the time to do the research to figure out who he was and big him up then. And John Leguizamo and Jarrell Jerome are in the same movie, and When They See Us, for which the Emmy came. So it was just like, but it leans back to Mike's point. It's like, why did you choose this moment to do that? It doesn't even speak to the point that John Leguizamo or Dasha Polanco were trying to make.
Right.
I was like, so they just kind of, I felt like it was an emotional pull with some fire behind it, which was good fire, but it didn't make the good trouble. It just it was just like, it's awkward and muddy because it's like, this wasn't the moment.
Can I have this for a second? Can I have it?
It wasn't even about the timing. It's just right now, if anything, the timing right now is about being really clear about your word choice, intention, and doing the work to know what to say, when to say it, if you have a platform as big as theirs. Well, and they didn't take that moment to do, because you was in the same movie with the bro. He was in the movie, like John Leguizamo was in the movie with Jarrell Jerome. It wasn't like 6 degrees separation.
Yeah, but I think it's more like, they're like, we want a whole takeover too,
But that's the idea when it becomes this whole thing of it's not a takeover, folks are acknowledging. It's like Hattie McDaniels exists for a reason in the pantheon of Black artists because of what they went through. I was like, it's such an interesting thing to pay attention to time in history. Is like, I mean, it's a thing. I know we got to move on, but
yeah, like I said, John Leguizamo. I mean, before Hamilton, Leguizamo was putting Puerto Ricanness on stage like we'd never seen in Broadway. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to say without being informed myself about if this was part of a larger point, like I said earlier. But had he said, let's work hard for next Emmys, so that more
some type of plan or something.
Yeah, more Latinx representation as well. Had he said something like that.
Right. Or I'm proud of my Black brethren. I'm excited for us to join you one day or something like that. That would have been
that's more ally talk and speaking sentiment. That's because that's what's needed right now. So.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I hope they don't get any I know they're probably getting run through the ringer right now, but I hope that it's not like a cancel culture type of thing. I hope that's not.
Terry Crews is making
that's true. He's
so
taking
much
up all
noise.
that time.
Yeah, don't worry. He's taking up all
So
he wants it,
true.
it seems. Yeah.
All right. Well, that off our chests, we're going to go into our spoilers reviews. Who's going to say it this time?
We got Spoilae reviews coming up.
I said it last time.
Hamilton.
Oh, you
no,
did?
I said it last time.
Oh, you did?
I think you
I
did.
think it's on you.
I said it
It's on me?
sexily. Oh, yes.
Oh, it's on me.
So choose your vibe for the Spoilae.
Spoilae. Yeah, like
Fun.
That was flirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Hamilton on Disney Plus, or I guess in theater,
On Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, or if you haven't seen Doom Patrol, please stop listening. I don't want to spoil these things for you. If you have seen them, please keep listening because we are going to go deep into our thoughts and our feelings.
I just noticed we didn't rate Hamilton in the
We
non-spoiler.
didn't. Should we
didn't
rate it
even
now
rate it.
before? So the people before we spoil it?
We can. I guess so.
Or just remember to do it at the end because we
Okay,
didn't do it
we'll remember
before.
to do it at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
We gotta
All
keep
right.
them listening. We gotta keep them listening.
Okay. So my question is, why did we do a rap musical about Alexander Hamilton?
Like, why did he do that?
Why did we do that?
I get the why.
I do not.
I was like, he had Lin-Manuel Miranda understands the immigrant experience.
Oh my God.
El Manuel.
Yeah, so he
Manuel.
took, he not only just the immigrant experience, but what do you call that? The double, if not triple consciousness of being, of having immigrant family members and also being, what's what I'm looking for? Of knowing how to speak all the languages necessary to gain the privileges that your immigrant folks could not get. Yeah.
Right. How language is access.
I get the why is all there. I get the
Yeah.
why.
Come on.
Not throwing away my shot, lose yourself, very similar, talking about 8 Mile. It's this idea of writing your way. It's
I
that
wrote my way out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think that Manuel Miranda saw a lot of himself in
Hamilton.
that aspect. I would say in that aspect of Hamilton.
Okay.
Now, the other idea of it, which is interesting, is he didn't take one of the more prominent founding fathers, right? He took Hamilton, and then there was this idea of who tells your story.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was a
We have
through line.
we have plenty. We don't have hip hopified, but we have plenty of stories of other founding fathers. I think this idea of taking a more obscure one and putting them under a microscope historically with context is something we can take. It doesn't have to be a prominent person in history that can make an impact.
Right.
And if we all behaved in a way where we had this idea that history will look back on what we do, no matter how regular you feel about your life, you can have that type of impact. You can have a huge influence on outcomes. You can be a huge catalyst for change or innovation, the way, you know, Hamilton's life is summed up in the play.
Yeah.
Now, would I have chose Hamilton? No. But I think that might be part of the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that might be part of the point. Now, historically, you know, the book that Manuel got his influence from, he gave probably more credit to the abolitionist sentiments of Hamilton than might have actually been historically accurate. But you know, that was just the thing is that was just one of the themes,
right?
You know, that ran throughout this in terms of opportunity for people.
Well, I want to see Amistad the musical. That's what I want to see. Give us free. Yeah? No? Rapping.
I spoke my way out.
Rapping. Well, I guess here's my issue with it is that, like, one, it was Alexander Hamilton. And I'm going to be honest, there was not a large section in my U.S. history class for Alexander Hamilton. So I was like, let me Wikipedia this real quick.
Right.
To, like, remember. And then I was like, we made a musical about the dude who made the national banks? Fuck that. What? You where we are now, this is your fault, man. The hell?
Before this play, the only connection I had ever to Alexander Hamilton was that Got Milk commercial.
What?
The Got Milk commercial where there's this guy, he's making a peanut butter sandwich for himself, and he's mid-chew, and he's listening to the radio. And the radio station calls him and asks him, and this guy's house is full of, like, historical memorabilia, right? Everything short of a fucking, the Confederate flag, okay?
Yeah.
He's a history buff. So they call him from the radio station he's listening to, and they say, hey, who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? And the guy full of peanut butter mouth was like, brr. And they're like, excuse me, I can't hear you. And he goes, hold on, let me get some milk. And he goes to the fridge, he doesn't have any milk. And they go, oh, sorry, your time is up. He's like, brr. And then it's like, got milk, gotta have milk on deck. You remember that, France?
I remember that now.
So, brr. Like, that's the only, like, we used to make, sorry to be crude, we used to make a lot of, dick sucking jokes, but you just say Aaron Burr to people.
I didn't know where you were gonna go with it. And I was like, where is it going? Where is it?
We were like in middle school. We would make a lot of fucking, Aaron Burr jokes. It was associated with sounding like you gotta. Anyway, so childhood.
Well, okay, so I was upset that it was Alexander Hamilton. That I was like Lin-Manuel, and then like the idea of the immigrant. I was like, I'm sorry. So settlers came to the Caribbean, like where is he? St. Kitts? And then he came to America as an immigrant? Stop it. Stop the madness. He's a white dude, was in St. Kitts and then came to the U.S.
He double colonized.
That is not an immigrant story to me. Like, I understand how the idea of like, look, we're telling history in this different way. It's like you're engaging with rap in a way that's like, whoa, we can do this. This is amazing.
But I think when we think immigrant for then, it was the idea that at the time, his family didn't have enough to start off in the mainland.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So technically, for the time, he was an immigrant because his whole town had to take a collection just to send him to New York. No. So I mean,
I get it. There's a lot of other stories to which that would hit harder for me than the white dude from St. Kitts who town collected for him to come to the mainland. That, I don't know. So for me, that's what, and I thought France was going to go into his thing about
waiting. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let him say it then. That was my qualms. I think it was still good. Burr was literally my favorite character. I could not get enough of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the main character right here. Whatever about Lin-Manuel Miranda sleeping with all the sisters. But like...
He didn't sleep with all this. Just stop it, okay?
Just two.
No, not two. All I'm saying is the fucking play starts with Aaron Burr's voice.
Yes. He was our Iago. He was our Mercutio. He was
our Scar.
Yeah. So, a couple things. One, this is the Big Mac of colonialism. How your man was like, my people came to here to go to there. It's like, bruh, the truth of the matter is the history doesn't stand up to the sentiment. And it's cute, but it's 2020. And I'm looking at this with 2020 eyes. And I'm like, yeah, it's not hitting. I think if I'd have seen it some years back, or if I saw it live, it might hit different. But it's not. Also, the musicals are so coded for white consumption, like as a culturally, that it always ruffles my feathers. That's my reason for not liking musicals. I fucks with music heavy, so I was able to sit through this entire musical and hear every word of every song because of my respect for rap. But by no means does this exude hip hop. And
no, Dr. Dre didn't write this.
And it was such a bifurcated experience to watch this. And I'm not gonna say I endured it because I really enjoyed the performances. I was like, but I really have to sit with the fact that this just made white people more comfortable with rap.
Yeah.
And I have
white people in that audience lost their shit.
Because there's a cost to letting your oppressor in on your culture. Like there's a price to pay. And I watched and I was looking, I'm like, damn, that's why this shit is so popular. Because he let them in. And then Lin-Manuel's style of rapping is so like Eminem's because it requires a certain cadence and a very specific like King's English clarity of being able to speak your words.
Yeah, I feel like there's a distinction between you sound like Eminem and then taking on a style of Eminem. I think when you say
like Eminem is white, so he has a very, even though he's from a poor neighborhood like everybody, like a lot of us are, but his cadence is not the same cadence. I was like, so his ability to use the words that he uses in the ways that he uses them is something that is very particular to white rappers in general, particularly lyrical white rappers.
Yeah.
Like there's a way, and it's a culture. It's like, cool, that's a thing. To watch it happen on the stage was so baffling to me because it just reminded me why white people are so comfortable right now with rap or with certain people in the game in that way and in the culture so way, and it's reflected on TikTok and all these other places. But for Hamilton, I'm like, okay, so you chose someone that everybody could get behind. And it was about and it's that price for being able to be accepted across different cultural landscapes. And in 2020, I'm like, damn, is that a price that was worth paying for the culture?
Well, I mean, we talk about like moving the needle towards diversity and representation, right? For Broadway, I find it interesting when I think about the people that see Broadway as theirs and went to sit down and watch George Washington be played by a black man while everyone was rapping for 3 hours. I find it more interesting that they sat through that than I look at a cost for like authenticity, or not authenticity is not the right word. Like this wasn't put together by the Roots, although they did have something to say about the soundtrack afterward. I don't know if you saw after.
Oh yeah,
they had like remixes and stuff. Oh yeah, so there was input there. Like the whole thing wasn't put together in that level of. It was absolutely done in a way that was digestible. I don't know if that's the way to put. Yeah, for a white audience, but at the same time, because of the choice in music and because of the diversity of the cast, there were kids in my school talking about a Broadway play. You know, like they they were interested in other plays. They wanted to know other plays. And the next, Hamiltonized fucking classic story I could see 10 years from now done hip-hopified with a fucking super diverse, more diverse cast, whatever. I could see that being influenced from something like this, which is, I think, a good thing,
Yeah. Well,
so
I think
there's that too.
Yeah. I think that it set out to do something and it did exactly what it set out to do. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think for myself and like other people like me, it's a weird thing. It doesn't sit right because you're
It's
like, this
weird.
is strange. And I don't know who asked for it, but apparently, it's hitting. Everybody loves it. For me, it's like I know artists who make these kind of historical shows with music and rhythm. Like, for instance, Universes, look them up, universesstages.com. They made an entire musical about the Black Panther Party. And it was freaking phenomenal. It was so good. Using rap, using song, using rhythm, using all the elements that, Lin-Manuel Miranda used, and then some because they're, talking about the Black Panthers. So that in itself, I'm like, I want to see that one on stage, and I want to see white people coming to see that. That's what I really want.
But
and again, that's me. Obviously, I'm not the masses.
No, you're right.
Hamilton was the thing for them.
I want to see more things authentically hip-hopified. I definitely do, but we talked about it. Like, Hamilton was a figure that could fit for more people. You talk about Black Panther Party, forget about rap being an obstacle for an audience. You're already just Black Panther Party, like that. And I know the point is not those people. I get that.
Right.
But in terms of why Hamilton exists, it also had the budget, and it had the budget because it had the backing. It had the backing because of all the things we talked about. Is it fair? No. It's fucking Broadway.
I enjoyed the casting.
Hopefully this changes things, though. Hopefully we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see what In the Heights does. Let's see.
I
as
mean,
a movie.
There's contention within the Heights, too. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I liked the things they did that were smart. Like, it was all very smart and well put together, expertly written. All of those themes we talked about were so very clear.
That spinning stage, though.
The spinning stage,
it was levels
people's
to that.
talents, like everything fit together. It was like the perfect puzzle. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. Look at this. Hamilton. So, like, I get it. He was inspired by the fact that this dude just wrote forever. And, like, the fact that the way they casted, I feel like was on purpose, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you would see, like, kind of the darker skinned cast members were in a certain way, and the lighter skinned cast members, and I don't mean they did that in a bad way. I mean, like, they did it on purpose. It was like,
Intention.
Burr is over here being like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is Hamilton? Why are we listening to him? And I was like, legit. And, Burr being like the darker skinned one, and Hamilton's, Lin-Manuel being the lighter skin. You know what I mean? So, like, I enjoyed those elements about it, and I do think those are the things that people can take away who aren't just the white people excited, like, ha ha ha, look at the rhythm and the rapping. You know what I mean? They can take those other things away, which is.
I have a question about the casting too, because this was the case in the live action play that I saw, and also the live action play in the play that I saw, and also in the
recording.
Yeah, in the Disney Blue, because it was two different casts. Like, there wasn't the original cast over there. So Hamilton's son was played by the same guy that died in the duel earlier.
Yeah.
And then Hercules Mulligan played Madison later. And then Lafayette, the guy that played him, played Jefferson later.
Right.
That was the case in both of the things. My question is, was that done like on purpose for some other like thematic reasons, or is like, why were those three roles like shared between the same, you know what I mean? Like, why wasn't there a different actor to play any of those roles? Why was that the case?
Well, in theater, that's a normal thing. So
Right.
it wasn't like
Right.
the choice of these two characters have to be played by the same person. That's what happens when you're not a main character. You're in the ensemble. So generally you will play 1 to 2 characters. They're not ever like, especially if one dies and another one comes up. That was like an extremely loud one.
Ghost
I had to
Rider.
wait for that. But that's what they'll normally do in theater. So, you know, you will play multiple roles. The pairing of the two, they could have thought about it and been like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. But it didn't necessarily mean anything in terms of the production. It just meant like they're playing 2 characters.
Okay. I just thought that was like interesting that it happened the same way both times.
And I recognized, as far as the narrative goes, that each of the characters was in support of the other and connected by that thing. Where Hercules Mulligan was, you know, supported the Marquis de Lafayette.
Yeah. Good point.
I was like, and then Marquis de Lafayette knew Thomas Jefferson, who was cool with James Madison. So it made sense as far as the narrative was concerned. So I understood it then.
Good point.
Whew, that was Hamilton.
We got through Hamilton and we didn't even mention the fucking king.
Oh my
He's my favorite
God,
character.
he was the best.
Because it was the most authentic to the craft of the musical as a device. And I love villains.
It's true. And like we were dying because the one thing that like as an actor, you know, happens when you're on stage is that you spit a shit ton.
No, there are some spitters. Some spitters.
And it just happens like
Yeah.
you don't mean to spit. You're just, you're not going to.
You're in it.
You can't stop it. So I thought that was funny. I know it wasn't part of it, but I was like, let's spit on this one.
I'll tell you something right now. We had Shakespeare and Company come through the school and do I forgot which one of the plays it was, and their lead was a spitter. I'm gonna tell you something right now. We had kids in the front row
Gallagher.
that were concerned. Yes, France, straight up Gallagher.
And they want to open the schools.
Yo,
Droplets. Droplets everywhere.
They say.
But yeah, needless to say, I still recommend Hamilton. Are we? We gotta rate it now. We gotta rate it.
Oh, yeah.
what are we rating it out of?
How many duels out of 10 do you give it?
Come on.
No,
No.
no duels. There was like
How many-
8 duels. Everybody was dying in duels.
How many sex affair pamphlets? Come on. Now,
Oh
you
my
should
God, he
spice it
did.
up.
How many sex affair articles?
Word, sex affair blogs.
Sex affair blog to get ahead of the news. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna get ahead of this story. I'm gonna write my own op-ed.
Yeah, I'm a diss myself. Fuck the free world.
Get this.
He canceled himself.
Print that. You can't cancel me. I
he
cancel
did.
me.
He tried to 8 Mile his situation.
Went straight to his wife
He
too.
did.
He's like,
That's what
look,
I'm saying.
I'm canceled, honey. I
You
want
think
you
you
to know.
Captain America?
That's why Lin-Manuel was like, I gotta write about this guy. He got ahead of his own cheating by writing.
Good God.
So how many of those do we give it?
I'll give it 8.
I gotta give it I refuse to discount the performances and the translation of rap to that.
Yeah.
I will give it a 9. It's really entertaining.
Yeah.
The songs are catchy.
They were.
Yikes.
Burr had a Camp Low style that I was about. I was like,
My favorite songs are not the rap ones.
Low. What? No, the wife songs needed to go.
I didn't say those are my favorite.
You know you like a good power ballad.
I loved her story because it was all like, who's telling my story? But I was like, please stop with the music. I can't with her anymore.
Talking about wifey.
Yeah. She was great. She was lovely. I just couldn't do these songs anymore. I was like, oh my God, okay.
Fuck your orphanage.
No.
the song from the eldest sister. That song is wild.
That was
She
ridiculous.
sang her ass off, bodied the rap flow.
It was the craziest
Oh
flow.
my God.
I liked Wait For It. That was my favorite one, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
All
I'd wait
right.
for it.
Let's give our just enough time for Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah. We got time. We got time.
We got time. So, again, spoilers review of Doom Patrol, just season 1, not season 2. If you haven't watched season 2,
just season 1.
just season 1. Okay, I think the biggest question through all of this whole thing, right? Because everybody stumbled into Doom Patrol, like without. I don't know if you guys read the comic or anything.
Very little of it.
Yeah.
I've read some of it, very little. Grant Morrison is a mad genius. We've always talked about him.
Yes, same as I ditto that.
Okay, so stumbled into it. Who the fuck is the Doom Patrol? This whole time, I'm thinking they're the Doom Patrol. Then like
They are.
They are, by virtue
They
of-
are. Yeah.
and then they were like, we're the Doom Patrol. I was like, the fuck? I'm like halfway through this shit and they're not the Doom Patrol.
That's part of the fourth wall breaking of it, is that what superhero group is ever the name they gave themselves? Like the Avengers didn't call themselves the Avengers, so forth and so on. Justice League might be they didn't even call themselves the Justice League. They were the Super Friends.
I'll do some research. We'll see. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, I'm fairly certain that the little bit that I read was that they never called themselves the Doom Patrol ever.
It was just like we get to see these characters. Who was it, right? So this dude makes a comeback. Brendan Fraser.
Shout out to Brendan Fraser. Wait,
Brendan
but before we do
Fraser.
that, I'd be disingenuous because it's not like we didn't know about Doom Patrol.
Right.
But the idea for us to like watch it, to review it, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Sammy because she was like, have you heard of Doom Patrol? I put her on to like mad shit, mad Marvel stuff, blah, blah, blah. Her contribution to the conversation was, have you heard about Doom Patrol? I'm like, yeah. But I had no like interest to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it. You know?
Yeah, it was so good. This like quirky band of characters were hilarious. And what's her name? I think she's doing a great job.
Diane Guerrero?
Yeah, with all the personalities.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's doing an amazing job.
I thought they were all great. I think this cast, very strong performances from all of the core members of the team. Even fucking Cyborg.
I know. At first, I wasn't down. Like everything he says is like one note, but like once you really get more into him, he's doing pretty good job.
Once you get more into him, you kind of get where he's coming from, and it grows on you.
Yeah.
And some of the twists work because he's that kind of steady note for them. Yeah. So that they use that cleverly. The villain, hella interesting, breaking all 30 of the walls.
I was like, it's the Deadpool of this era, but he's villain.
I was disappointed, though. There weren't enough Firefly references for me. I mean, he was so meta.
That's true.
There should be. I need more of that in season 2. Hopefully there is. So I was excited. I saw this character in the trench coat smoking a cig. And then he names him. He says what his name is. I'm like, wait, that's not Constantine.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, Constantine.
So apparently, for whatever reason, DC didn't want Constantine used in this.
I knew it.
So what they did was they basically wrote John Constantine, but named him something the fuck else.
Something else. He's someone else.
That's a deep cut character. The character does exist.
Okay.
He does? Because I couldn't find him.
The
I thought he was just
Mineral Man exists too.
Yeah, the Vegetable Mineral Man exists, but this Willoughby, whatever the fuck, I thought he was just created for the show.
He's like a really tiny character that exists in so deep in the mythos. Because I looked for him too. And if memory serves, and I could be wrong and I'll double check, but he may actually exist in Constantine's sphere.
That would make sense.
The motherfucker was Constantine. That's what Grant Morrison, that's what he said. He's like, look, they didn't let me use him, so I made him anyway.
Around the time of this recording, though, Matt Ryan wasn't was he still doing the live action one? I guess Legends of Tomorrow, right? Oh, no, that's more recent than when Doom Patrol actually filmed. Doom Patrol would have filmed during the live action hiatus of
it wasn't, from everything I read, it was not a matter of his availability. And it wasn't a matter of, is this Constantine? They wanted Constantine.
Right.
You know, so when you watch this episode, those 2 episodes with him in it again, just tell yourself, fuck what he's saying his name is. That's Constantine.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, and with that being said, as fun as Doom Patrol was, all I in the back of my head, because I'm an ungrateful motherfucker. I'm an ungrateful bastard. I'm watching this and enjoying it, but in the back of my head, I'm like, if they fuck up DC, the Justice League Dark.
Oh, yeah. I thought that's what was going to happen.
Because all this had me thinking was, damn, they're doing the Guardians with this. These are obscure characters that not a lot of people know about. Ragtag group, misadventures, comedy. That's basically Guardians. The Justice League Dark is kind of the same idea, but with, in my opinion, more interesting characters, like including Constantine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's a part of that.
Yeah.
So I my hopes and expectations for any Justice League Dark projects that are in the future, I'm like, please pull from Doom Patrol, because they got a lot right here.
They got so much in there. And like I feel like the stringing you along too with like you knowing the chief isn't as good as we think the chief is always a great storyline I love. And then like why he's not as great, that kind of things. And then just the mystery of everyone's powers. Like in the end, obviously because this is the Spoilae one, we find out that the chief made all of them go through what they went through, and like he's the reason that they have all these weird powers or what they feel are like misgivings.
They're accidents.
But like
weren't accidents.
They weren't accidents, but I'm more interested in that. Like, how in the hell did you know sending this dude up into like Halo jump space would interact with this weird electro thing and go into his body? How the fuck would you know that?
Maybe he asked the horse. He asked Baphomet.
Like, what? And then also the thing in the water. They're like, she's going to fall in and some weird green thing is going to...
Hey, they had to know where the set was. You know what I mean?
I feel
they
like
had to know what a bridge
too
was.
Much coincidence. And then, you know, I'm super excited to know about the daughter, which is why I know you were like, did you guys watch it? I was close. I was close to watching season 2, episode 1, because I was like, who's this fucking daughter?
And why is she so young?
Why is she so young? And like, why, like, we can't see her face? What's happening?
Yeah. What was some of your favorite moments from the season, like specifically?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I think off the top with as an episode, the episode in the underground that they spend inside of Jane's head was masterfully done. And
well, just Jane's head, Kay's head.
Right, Kay's head, right.
Yes. I forgot we're in the Spoilae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, so in Kay's head, that's amazing. Understanding
We're in the
what Jane
Spoilae.
is, and then being able to say, being able to see the other personalities represented as themselves.
Yeah.
So that you can see their expressions as they show up on Jane on the outside. You know,
Right. And even ones that don't come out. What's the one that has the X on her eyes?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we don't see her.
That shit was fire.
My favorite is Danny Street.
Danny the Street.
Danny the Street. I love that. Just because it was like...
Oh, like as an episode? Or as a moment? Okay.
As a moment, I think as soon as like the idea of Danny Street that it pops in and pops out whenever, wherever they want, and they're just like alive. And it's like the perfect way to talk about non-binary because Danny's a street. Danny has no gender. Why would you give a gender a street? That doesn't make any sense. So it's the same thing you're talking to like a person. If this person says they don't have a gender, they don't have a gender. It doesn't make sense to use one. Why would Danny be he? Why would Danny be she? Does that make sense? Danny's the street.
Yeah.
So I just love when people can like expertly show that. And I will say, strange plug, because I had to review Babysitter's Club on Netflix. They also do this perfectly.
Yeah,
There's like
it's a good
one moment that's like floop, and they say it so simply, and it's such a great analogy, and it's beautiful, and you're like, yes, that is that. So I love Danny Street.
Yeah, my favorite moment came from that episode with Danny the Street. when they asked Larry to go up and sing karaoke.
Oh my God.
And so when they asked Larry to go up and sing karaoke, he's reluctant at first. He goes with this whole number. He sees himself, belts it. And then when the timing of when they snap us back into the fact that he was probably just thinking of doing that.
Yeah.
But ultimately he just says, I don't sing, and walks out.
I know.
That was heartbreaking. Like that moment that had like the opposite effect that the moment that we talked about in The Old Guard, the "He's Not My Boyfriend" speech.
Oh yeah.
How uplifting that was, right? How great that was. It's like this one had the opposite, like the more tragic.
Right. Imagine that didn't happen. It was all in his head.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The deflation, but it was very effective, and in terms of like the story that and of that character, it was really good. That moment was. I was like, the show is special when you can get a moment out of that, a moment out of it like that.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a regular superhero show when it has stuff like that.
I'm gonna sprinkle one extra moment. That's when Flex Mantello goes bonkers after his wife, and all of the fireworks go off in the house. For some reason, that shit hit me, and I'm like, this show is good enough to make me care about this random ass fucking moment. Anyway,
I know she disintegrated.
I like Flex Mantello.
I love that.
He's
dude.
the best. He can make people orgasm with a flex.
Yeah,
Who the fuck doesn't like that?
Best.
I liked it because I was trying to figure out what was happening. They're like, I'm feeling something, and I was like, what are they feeling?
Yeah. But the villain is really stand out. I mean, the villain as the narrator.
The narrator
It's brilliant. It's what they do with it, how they play with it. The intro that he gives into the last episode, that wrap up musical type thing, is brilliant, and his performance is absolutely great. What's his name?
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. Yeah, he's of Firefly fame.
So good.
Yeah, he is tremendous. He could read the phone book.
He could. He literally could.
Yeah.
All right. We have
high recommend if people can't tell. High recommend.
Yes, high recommend.
Watch that.
And I can't wait to watch season 2.
Yeah, and like my friend made me do, like force people to watch it. They'll enjoy it. Like they won't hate this.
They won't.
Quick shout
promise.
out to the homie Michael. You know why.
Right. Totally.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to obscure shout outs. Okay. Shout out to my orthopedist. Is that what we're doing?
No. Michael is the reason we were able to watch Doom Patrol.
Oh,
Enough
damn.
said.
Now they scrambling the jets. Aisha, you can't be.
Enough said. All right. We're going to do rapid fire trailers now.
We got a couple of trailers.
It's just a few.
Like three, right?
There's 4.
Fuck.
I know.
Well, it's 3 and a possible because one of them doesn't feel like a trailer anymore
Oh, I know.
at this point.
All right. So let's start with that.
There's an old Native American proverb that says, inside every person there are 2 bears, forever locked in combat for your soul. One bear is all things good, compassion, love, trust. The other is all things evil, fear, shame, and self-destruction.
New Mutants.
New Old Mutants.
New Old Mutants. They basically just show the first 5 minutes of the film, I guess.
It felt like it.
I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I can't really get excited anymore. I don't know how to feel about New Mutants. Like, you just keep showing me trailers. Maybe it's like an experimental piece and we're just going to see trailers.
Maybe that last trailer was the first 4 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like
That's what Aisha just said.
Say that.
Yeah. It's the first 4 minutes of the movie. Is it even a trailer anymore?
No, but at the end of it, there's a new cut trailer, though.
Yeah, they did. That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like there's 2 action scenes and they showed us both of them.
No.
That's all they filmed.
This film is the Snyder cut of films.
Oh
because
my God.
at this point, I'm like, you want hype for this? Just say it's coming to Hulu or the Disney Plus.
Yes.
It's PG-13. So it could come to Disney Plus.
Important distinction. I should say in association with Marvel in the opening crawl.
Oh, it did. That's true.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's that Venom touch.
They're not even claiming it. It's an illegitimate.
So
like, we didn't do this one, but it's
exactly.
here.
So just say it's coming. I'm telling you, it will be the #1 viewed movie, whatever day it drops.
Whatever.
It's true.
People will fucking watch it.
They're gonna watch it.
Because they're not going to go to the theater with COVID to watch this shit.
No, not for New Mutants. What?
No.
But also, like, the graphics look pretty good.
Yeah.
I was
Special effects
down
were
for
pretty stellar, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Fox knows how to cut a trailer. Like that
do.
team, those people that worked on this film, they know how to cut trailers, but do they know how to cut a fucking movie? I don't know.
I know. Oh man, editing is always a downfall with these. Anyway, all right. So will we see New Mutants? Who knows?
don't know.
I have no idea if it's ever gonna come out, but
Push
they're
the
gonna
button.
keep
Now that
feeding us crumbs.
It's confirmed PG-13 now based on this trailer, so just put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, just put on Disney Plus.
Let's go.
Gosh. All right. Next.
There he is.
My boy.
Hellstrom. I know nothing about this. I don't know what it is, and it looked pretty fucking freaky.
Yeah, it's on some other shit. It's a Marvel property that's not often used as a character that is particularly cliche, but shows up at random moments now in comics, and it's a big fucking deal because they know how to use him. But it's the character's name originally is just Damian Hellstrom, and he's the son of the devil.
I was like, the son of the devil?
But they took a little liberty here, a little spin here, and they made it a family affair with a sister is attached. So it's a brother and sister, and that's why it's just called Hellstrom.
Supernatural-esque.
And there's something super obvious that is a brilliant little piece where they speak to the mother.
That's the mom that was in the...
who's in a psychiatric facility, it looks like, but who's clearly the devil, if not possessed.
Yeah, she definitely had something.
And
or if not divorced from.
Facts.
Right.
So there's this play here on that I've seen in a couple other shows recently, with like there's a dude who's like who hunts serial killers, and his dad was a serial killer type thing. So he keeps returning to his dad to get wisdom, so called. So yeah, I see a little play of that here, but this looks interesting. It was highly horror centric.
Yeah.
With the visuals.
I like that for it to be
going to Hulu.
Yeah.
It's another Marvel Hulu tag team.
Sounds like New Mutants could fit in there, you know?
That's what I was saying. Sounds like this horror type of thing.
Nestled between that and Runaways.
Sounds like the same pocket, you know?
Yeah. Was New Mutants that they had some creatures in there I hadn't seen before. That was fun.
Yeah, these creatures that look like they would fit perfectly in Hellstrom.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
Both on Hulu. That sounds right. No. Okay, next up.
You're not from here, are you? From this world?
No.
Neither am I.
Is his Dark Materials season 2, which we never finished season 1. So
So why are we talking?
I mean, we read the books.
No, I mean, why am I talking with either one of you? That's what I'm asking.
My damn.
That's what I'm asking.
Listen, I couldn't take Lin-Manuel Miranda as this dude.
Manuel Miranda.
Chico
Roll that
DeBarge
R.
now? What the fuck? Is El DeBarge now?
He's the El Chapo of...
Oh my God.
That's what he's called.
No, why
He's
would
the
you?
master.
What? No. Stop it. He wrote the score for Moana.
He did. He did that.
She was smuggling. No, okay. Andrew. So anyway, let's just talk about this trailer.
Okay, the trailer looks great. Honestly, it looks better than season 1, to which I haven't finished.
Yeah,
but
some of it probably didn't make sense to you because even though you read the books, you didn't read you read probably the same 3 I read, which is the original
right. Yeah,
trilogy.
we didn't read the Dust.
Right,
and
the other 2 ones that are out there, I haven't touched yet. So there's some of the stuff that happens in season 1 that's
It's
from
part of
stuff I
that.
didn't read. Yeah. So a lot of this in the trailer that I'm seeing, some of it, I'm like, okay, I recognize some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
Oh.
So yeah, I could understand if you didn't even finish the season why some of it didn't make sense.
We're gonna
But we
finish it.
saw Moriarty running
Yes.
around, Mr.
And-
Scott.
Yeah, don't say who he is though, because I was like, who is that?
No, I'm not. But we saw Mr. Scott running around, so it was nice to see him. I
I
love
did
him.
love that.
He can
He's the
do
best.
any role. They could tell me he's playing fucking Queen Elizabeth, and I'm like,
If
I'm
you
in.
watched Fleabag, him in that just blew me away. And he was a pastor. I was like, this dude is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Aisha,
pretty epic.
You could have told me he's playing the Flea, and I would have been there.
Oh, I know. Anyone who's seen Fleabag, he was afraid of foxes. That was the best part.
Oh, I love foxes.
He's like,
I
is it
love
a fox?
foxes.
They're after me.
Foxes are my favorite living land mammal.
Oh,
That's
sly fox.
cute.
All right. Last trailer.
We didn't say shit about the last trailer, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We went off on a
We
ill
didn't see
tangent.
the first season.
Wait, what do you mean? I said enough for the both of us. You didn't even
did.
finish the fucking season. I got it. Don't worry.
He
you
said-
you carried heavy with Hellstrom, bro. Your
Yeah.
back hurt? Let me rub it.
Exactly.
Let's
He
go to the
said
next one.
Moriarty. What else?
Rapid fire, ba-bang, ba-bang. Let's go.
This next one is
25 years ago, you played a concert in front of the entire world. 1 month ago, you played in Barstow, California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night. Bill and Ted, what have you got to say for yourselves?
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Bill and Ted. 3? Isn't there 2 Bill and Teds?
Yes, there are 2 Bill and Ted's.
So this
Aren't
is
there
third.
technically
two
Bill and Ted
Wow.
3?
There's so many jokes in that question. It's not even funny.
Facts.
This Bill and Ted looks so fucking weird. I'm going to be honest. Bill and Ted was always a weird thing, but it was funny and this. But like watching them be Bill and Ted at like, how old are they? Like 55?
They're in their 50s.
Be Bill and Ted. I was like, I'm uncomfortable. And then they have kids and like the time travel was so much. I don't know. I couldn't wrap my
know.
head around it.
I might alienate my white fans here.
Oh no.
My
we
white
have white
listeners.
fans?
Shrug.
There's the only clans joke. I'm going to let it rock, though. You go ahead.
Only clans? All right.
My goodness.
What? Okay, wait. Let me
Jeez.
backtrack. Let me go back to what I was saying.
He's drinking the Thailand drink, the moonshine. So let's remember that.
How can they remember something we never told them?
This is for us.
They're listening. Anyway, all right. And no offense to Kevin Smith,
Okay.
but watching this trailer made me want to start a GoFundMe for like Clerks 8.
I mean, fair.
I'd rather watch Jay silence Bob for 5 more movies
yeah.
than like this movie is so not for me. I love the demi-deity that is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I love him.
It's great.
And I'm happy that he made this movie because I don't think he'd do anything unless it was fun
Right. I'm sure it was a blast.
for him. So good
Yeah.
for him. But I tell you, man,
I don't know.
I'm ready for this movie. I loved Bill and Ted as a kid. It
Yeah.
was because it was for what it was at the time. It was classic counterculture, but it was white counterculture.
yeah.
I was like, and the way things have evolved now, and looking at it now, it's going to be a play on its own counterculture, and I'm like, I'm so fascinated by that. I need to have seen this. For anything, I want to see how Kristen Shaw steps into George Carlin's role. How about that?
I mean, I
Blasphemous.
loved Bill and Ted when I was a kid too. It was hilarious. I just don't know what this is.
Yeah, and at this point, white counterculture, isn't that Black Lives Matter?
My point precisely is that
Are they going to
Because-
start
because-
marching?
because when Bill and Ted first came out, nobody knew Keanu was Asian. Nobody really knew up top that the bro was Asian.
I don't think he's playing an Asian in this movie. You know what I mean?
The point is now we know as a collective body, as a collective consciousness. It's so interesting to see how he's gonna play with this role.
I'm happy that you're happy for this movie. That's great. I just don't have the enthusiasm for it.
Yeah, I'll watch it for sure. I'm just like, what?
Well, you have to. He's gonna take you to see it.
Yeah, when it comes out in 2024.
No. 17
I don't know when it's coming
days.
out. When is this coming out? Did not even look.
Dan, you must really like have little regard for somebody if on like the 16th day of a release you take them to see this movie.
Right. That was
Or a movie.
like
period.
I could just see it tomorrow.
Exactly, right? Like, nah, it's cheaper here. Come on.
That's the Tinder date. They took me to see the movie right before I went on to HBOmax. Day before. All right.
We did it.
We did it. We did our episode.
Yeah.
Catch us next time because Umbrella Academy comes out tomorrow or tonight.
Oh my God. I'm going to binge that shit.
I have to binge it. I'm writing an article. I'm going to be like watching mad episodes.
Wait, who are you writing an article for, Aisha?
Who am I writing an article for? Black Nerd Problems, our partners in crime. So check out our review with 2 nerds and an actor posted in all Black Nerd Problems platforms, as well as an article coming out. I don't know when the article's coming out, but it will happen probably Monday.
Or else.
Monday or Tuesday.
Awesome. Well, we did it. We got through episode 412.
412. Does that mean something?
And we didn't reference how we were giving them the 411 last episode, and I'm proud of us for that.
We missed it.
I am so proud of us for that. You don't understand.
What is the Austin? Oh no, that was 316, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I forget how anti-religious you are. I forget.
Suck it.
The tone.
All right. We
Catch
did
us
it.
next time. Like, share, subscribe, please. If you loved it, say something. Tell us. Even if you don't put it out to the world, let us know. I love to know. We hear more from our listeners who just like live off our stuff.
We're looking for haters.
Oh yeah.
We need haters to take the masks off. That's what we need.
Be our first haters.
Yikes.
I will actively
have fun
ignore
mixing
you.
this one, buddy.